Welcome back to the second module, of the Change Management Masterclass. In the previous module, we focused on the case for change. In this module we will provide you with an overview of popular change models, and then conclude with an overview of our own approach. In the last module we will unpack our approach, and show you how to use this in a practical implementation. The specific models we will discuss are the Lewin model, which is probably the oldest and most common to explain the essence of change. The McKinsey model, named after the firm that made it famous, and who employed Tom Peters of In Search of Excellence fame. The Kotter model, very current, and popular under change practitioners. The ADKAR model, which is a proprietary approach that, preferably need to be implemented under license. And lastly the Kubler-Ross model, initially used more in the area of counseling and therapy and applied in an adopted format by many change practitioners. Finally, we will provide you with an overview of our approach. We believe it is a culmination of best practice and addresses the following. The process of change, as the basis for design development and implementation. The major tasks that need to be undertaken, this being the core of the change model. And, how all this need to integrate to ensure the organization is ready for the so-called new normal. As well as how success will be measured. So let us look at the first model. Lewin outlines 3 stages of change management. Unfreezing the organization or targeted unit. Upon realizing that your company needs to change, the first step is to unfreeze your current system. This means analyzing every step and human interaction for potential improvements, no matter how in-depth you have to go and how much you need to unearth and mirror it to the organization. Emphasis is on analysis and creating awareness of the need to change. Managing the transition. Once you've prepared everyone, it's time to implement your changes and guide the organization as they adapt. Here the emphasis is on support to move towards the new normal. Refreezing. When changes have been implemented, mechanisms should be put in place to refreeze or entrench the new normal. The mechanisms include changes to performance contracts, reward, prioritization, etc. In a critique of the model one can highlight the following. Positives include that it provides, albeit in a general sense, the total change journey and the central phases in this regard. It emphasizes the importance of starting with proper analysis and planning. And also the need to entrench changes once the required transition has been effected. It is however very general and does not provide the practitioner with detail regarding change priorities, how stakeholders should be engaged, etc. The model also seemed to underplay the reality that organizations are not closed systems and therefore need to be cognizant of internal as well as external context. The McKinsey model focuses on 7 aspects you need to analyze in your company and outline how they affect each other, to determine the changes you need to make to ensure a united approach to business. Strategy, direction. Structure, formal and informal. Systems, policies, processes, procedures and workflows. Shared values, as manifested in the priorities of the organization. Style, management and leadership climate and behavior. Staff, who are regarded as the role models in the organization. Skills, which core skills drive organizational success. Considering the McKinsey model, it is clear that it provides an excellent overview of the major elements of an organization and also how they interact. This enables a sound basis for analysis. However, the model is unfortunately lacking in terms of the following. Describing the change dynamic. Considering the influence of the external environment on change, and providing detail regarding the change process itself. The Kotter model focuses on creating the correct psychological climate for change, but also addresses important elements that are found in the model of Kurt Lewin, creating a sense of urgency, thus, Lewin unfreezing, setting changes in stone, this Lewin refreezing. Kotter emphasizes the following steps to be taken to effect change. Creating a sense of urgency. Building a guiding coalition. Forming a strategic vision. Getting everyone on board, through communication and motivation. Enabling action by removing barriers and reducing friction. Creating and communicating short-term successes. Creating momentum, and entrenching the changes. What is important to note is that the model identifies three distinct phases: creation of the right psychological climate for change, then enabling the change, and lastly implementing and sustaining the change. The COTA model is indeed very popular and provide an excellent overview of the change process. In this regard, it can guide the behavior of the change practitioner, and lead it towards effective action. It also emphasizes the importance of creating the right psychological climate for change. On the downside, the model does not emphasize analysis and the need for considering the external context of the organization, and is general in the detail of how the various steps can be planned for, and implemented. Created by Jeffrey Hyatt, founder of POSI, the ADKAR change management model is a bottom-up method which focuses on the individuals behind the change. It has a process focus and emphasize what steps need to be taken to move people affected by change towards adoption of a new solution. By focusing on achieving the following 5 goals, the ADKAR model can be used to effectively plan change on both an individual and organizational level. Awareness of the need to change. Desire to participate and support the change. Knowledge on how to change. Ability to implement required skills and behaviors. Reinforcement to sustain the change. The ADKAR model is very well researched and does not only provide the what, but also the how of implementation. It provides the required tools and instruments to aid implementation. On the downside, there is less emphasis on the external environment, and it is proprietary, therefore need to be implemented under license. Implementation success in using ADKAR is usually enhanced by certifying the practitioner in the use of the methodology. We regard the Kubler-Ross model so important that we will devote a separate lecture to it later in this program. Therefore we only provide you with a brief overview of the model, and give you a glimpse of how it is utilized in a change management context. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross was a psychiatrist who detailed the 5 stages of grief in her book on death and dying. The model is based on those 5 stages and fulfills a specific niche in change management, allowing you to focus on, and deal with the emotional response of those affected by the change. No matter how hard we try to remain consistent, emotions play a massive role in our productivity, and by knowing the following 5 stages of grief you can anticipate your employees' reactions and plan your response, and schedule, well ahead of time. Although the original model represents the following 5 stages, it is often utilized in an adapted format in change management. The stages are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, acceptance. Because the Kubler-Ross model deals with the perceived loss of the familiar, and this is potentially threatening to employees, it is used as a basis for planning and executing communication interventions, counseling support as well as facilitating the smooth adoption of the new normal. What makes the Kubler-Ross model powerful is the following. It is research-based and validated over many years. It provides a very comprehensive process to deal with human emotions in the change process. Although only applicable to emotions, it should be remembered that it was not developed specifically as a change methodology. It is however a model and process that is extensively used in a broader implementation of change. This then concludes the first section of the second module. The next section will deal with the elements of our model, and this provides the basis for the last module of this course. Thank you.